JKB back with another episode. Today on the show I'm reviewing Male Mole. Thank you to the dev for sending over the review copy. Male Mole is a 3D platformer where you have to turn the power back on in a small town of creatures. I soon realized when I started the game that this game was made for children. However, because I don't think a lot of people are going to review this, maybe I'll be the only one. I'm having such a hard time with this because this is a game for kids. There's no doubt about it. It's platforming in its basic mechanics. There's nothing special about it in terms of its platforming. You're going to experience everything you've ever experienced in a platformer in this game in much subtler ways. Let me also say I'm not saying it's a bad game, I'm just saying it's for children. At least I thought that until I got further into the game and it became a little bit more difficult. I think a lot of modern platformers are obviously drawing inspiration from Super Mario Brothers, but in this case you can see that right off the bat with the way the mole screams when he dies. Ow. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I have nothing negative to say about the fact that they've borrowed some things from Super Mario. You don't actually control the mole overground, he's always digging underground, and you see a giant pile of dirt roaming around the level until you jump. The jump has a charge to it, so you have to time the jumps at the right time to make sure that you get enough height. And other than that, you have a bit of a dash that will propel you forward underground. You would think that enemies shooting things at you in terms of the bosses wouldn't really affect you when you're underground, but it does. So yeah, don't take everything at face value in this game. There's a shop in town where you can spend the carrots you collect on items to put on your mole. I got my mole a turban, because why not? I always have a great time reviewing games on the show, and I especially get more into these types of games because I want to see where the line is drawn. Where have they taken it somewhere special? Or is it just paint by the numbers, let's make some money? Or is it, something passionate that they worked on? And in this case, I kind of feel like it goes on both sides of the fence. In terms of the platforming, I would say that it is basically on par with what you would expect from a very simple basic 3D platformer. In terms of the graphics though, they did kind of step it up to a certain degree. It's not just assets borrowed from other games or a library online. It does look like they had an idea in place here. It is a town full of animals, so if you have a child out there, they're going to see a bunch of different animals in a town. And I guess that's a good thing if you want to teach them about moles and an owl and a couple of other things. And there's something else I just don't remember right now. My favorite part is when the UFO shows up and it's a turtle looking to steal power from your town's grid. I just spent 20 minutes reconnecting this? Do you think I'm gonna let you come in here on your UFO and take the power out? Get real. It's time to go down. You know how I take him down? I go onto the UFO and I jump on a bunch of buttons and I disable his UFO. Yeah, and you know what? He shoots projectiles at me that somehow, magically, still hit me while I'm underground. Explain that one. So overall, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. If you have a child out there that really wants to get into platforming and they haven't really played any other platforming games, this is a pretty good title to introduce them to the genre. I think that, the writing is as bare bones as you can get, and it's actually made me laugh so many times because it makes absolutely no sense that a UFO shows up, but I guess you had to have a boss battle. So overall, 7 out of 10. It's a child's game. It's for kids, maybe teenagers. If you're an adult, it's really not something you should be getting into. However, who am I to shame you for wanting to play Male Mole? I mean, if you want to do that and you're 40 like I am, then definitely go out and do it. I'm not holding you back. I'm not shaming you for enjoying mole platforming. I want you to have a good time in life. I want you to take down that UFO and that tortoise or turtle, whatever it was, and I want you to have a great time with your kids. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of JKB. Please consider subscribing.